Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are MC.
It's a warm Sunday afternoon at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City for the final game of the I-70 series between the St. Louis Cardinals and our Kansas City Royals. Hi, everybody. Steve Physioc, Rex Adler with you. The Cardinals have taken the first two games of this series, but it has not affected the Royals' defense, as last night the Royals tied a franchise record with their 11th straight errorless game.
Pretty impressive, Fizz. For the amount of losses that are piling up for the Royals this year, you would expect some sloppy play. You're not going to see it. This has been fantastic. And you know what's even more amazing? You're getting guys that are playing out of their normal positions. Rosell Herrera is going to be in the infield today. You got Escobar playing third base, center field. You got all these guys moving over. Dozier from third to first. It's amazing to see what these guys are doing. It's the work they do before the game, and the fact that they refuse to lose in a way where they're going to work their way through it is showing.
The progress is there. When we come back, Joel and Monty will talk today's starting pitcher, Jacob Junis.
He went 5 innings, 2 runs, and 7 strikeouts, and we saw more of that from him this week. Joel Goldberg, Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery, he also went 5 innings against the Cubs, allowing 1 run, and had 8 strikeouts. What went so well for Junis?
Well, I remember talking after the game how he was much better with his fastball command, the best fastball command that he had for a while. As a result of that, he's able to get ahead with that fastball, even put some guys away with the fastball, but it allows him really to expand the strike zone with that slider. The slider has been so good for Jacob Junis when he's on. The other great thing last time, didn't give up any home runs against the Cubs. That's a key for Jacob Junis.
And so Junis looking to continue his progress. He has been much better of late, in search of win number 7 on the season. Had that no decision against the Cardinals back in May. Luke Hochaver is back in town. So is Chris Young and Kris Medlen, revisiting the 2015 World Championship today at the K.
'15 title team. Who can forget the downtown parade when 800,000 fans showed up to cheer on their world champions? Fizz and Hud back with you. And Hud, that may have been the happiest day in Kansas City in a long time, with so many people collected for that reason.
No one will forget, Fizz. That was a beautiful day. Unbelievable. But you know what? Why not? Why can't we reminisce a little bit? Today's going to be a special day. We got a couple of visitors from that team. They come up in the booth today. And no better than Luke Hochaver, longtime Royal and winner of Game 5 in the World Series. Medlen's going to come up. It's going to be nice to see these guys and have them reminisce, kind of like we did in last night's game.
Hochaver and Medlen will be here in the 3rd and the 5th. And once again, this is the I-70 series, the battle of the Show Me State. I-70 series, a house divided. Royals fans, Cardinals fans, together at the K. First pitch of the final game of this series is next. Here in the heartland, Steve Physiak, Rex Hudler, Joe Goldberg, and Jeff Montgomery. Here's a look at the Cardinals batting order. Matt Carpenter, of course, will be leading things up, and Yadier Molina will be playing in his third straight game. As a matter of fact, third straight start in this series, but 19th going back the last 3 weeks.
Amazes me, 36 years old, and he's catching a day game after a night game. Wow, unbelievable.
Well, Jacob Junis will make the start for Kansas City, and for the 25-year-old right-hander from Rock Falls, Illinois, this will be start number 22 this year.
Yep, now he'd like to do a better job, obviously, of keeping the ball in the yard, but in his last start against the Cubs, who are 10th in National League in home runs, he didn't allow a homer. So look, the key for him, hey, slide him out of there. That's right, slide him on the road somewhere, get a W, but he's a big slider ball pitcher. Opponent's only hitting 159 on that pitch. Likes to get ahead with his fastball, but he's got to be able to locate that too. Look, it's not easy against a red-hot team like the Birds. Forward around the horn, Royals defense. They tied a franchise record last night for the third time with their 11th straight airless game in a row. They've been good. On the infield, Rosell Herrera's making his first Royals start at second base. This kid's stock continues to rise. He hasn't aired yet in his 40th game he's playing. He's a pretty good ball player.
Mondesi will sit this one out, and Escobar will get the start at shortstop. Our umpires today, Adam Hammery will be behind home plate. Phil Cuzzy at first base. Tom Hallion is the crew chief. He's at second. And Ryan Blakeney at third base. You talked about the Cardinals being so hot. St. Louis 12-5 their last 17 games. And there is Matt Carpenter. He is one of the Toyota League leaders, one of the leading candidates for MVP in the National League. He has reached base in a career high 29 straight games.
Whether it's a walk or a knock, he's doing it. That's for sure. One of the hottest players in the National League. Certainly, if his health stays good, he'll be in the mention for an MVP.
Fourth in the National League with 242 total bases. Jacob Junis faced St. Louis back on May 23rd. Pitched well, but received a no decision in the Royals' 5-2 victory.
He's looking to ambush. There's no question about it. Having a career year in home runs, he's looking for something belt high. And the thing about it is, you can get those pitches. You're going to get one good one to hit, but you can't miss him, and he hasn't been.
Junis starts him off with back-to-back fastballs. His money pitch is his slider, and opponents have been hitting .352 off of his fastball this year. Royals will defend 3 infielders in the right side with Herrera in shallow right. Good fastball there.
That's where he wants to place it. Keep it located away from this guy Carpenter. He's dangerous. Don't let him beat you. Now it's slider time. He's got 111, 112 strikeouts now.
It was the slider, and there is strikeout number 115 this year for Junis.
Yep, had him all set up. Fastballs, 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 and then here it comes. Slide him right out of town. That's his goal. Try to keep him off the board. That's his money pitch.
Now Junis will face Yadier Molina. Has had a very good first 2 games of this series, going 4 for 8, upping his batting average to .290. Ball 1. Strike in there, 1 ball and 1 strike. And it is a bit of a breezy day, which will help the right-handed hitters. Winds about 15 miles an hour, blowing out towards left.
Look at that, that back foot, man. He's borderline almost out of the batter's box, but he wants to get as far back as he possibly can. Let that ball travel all the way. Now look how he steps over and he taps the left side of the batter's box with his bat. I don't know what that's all about.
That is whistled foul. It stays a ball and 2 strikes as Junis came with the fastball, that time his sinker.
See if he taps the other side of the box again. Yep, there it is. He taps twice to the left-handed batter's box. Little ritual. Have to find out what that's all about. But he's a future Hall of Famer without a doubt. Eight-time Gold Glover, 4-time Platinum Glove winner.
More important than that, multiple world championships.
Yep.
Junis drops that slider in there, the inside corner. Molina does not agree, and he is barking at the home plate umpire, Adam Hammery. Hammery's the guy who got into it with Danny Duffy last night. Duffy was thrown out of the game. 2nd time that Duffy has been tossed this year.
Setting up away. It's a breaker. Caught some of the box. Look. If you don't hack, sometimes they send you back. There you go. And Molina's got to go.
So back-to-back strikeouts to open the game for Jacob Junis, getting Carpenter swinging and Molina looking. Now Jose Martinez. He has had a very good series, going 5 for 8. The 1 Cardinal hitting .300. Whit Merrifield. 1, 2, 3 go the Cardinals in the first. We'll see Merrifield, Gordon, and Perez when we come back. I-70 series. Whit Merrifield will be leading things off. Then Gordon, then Perez, then Duda and Herrera getting the start at second base. And Rosell Herrera, a line drive hitter.
Absolutely. Let's see what they can do to get a hold of this guy, Tyson Ross. They're going to have to be able to get some big hits and turn that offense on. But they haven't so far this homestand.
And Luke Weaver was expected to start, but he cut his finger on an aluminum dinner tray. They said if it was the playoffs, Weaver would make the start, but they didn't want to take any chances. So Tyson Ross comes out of the bullpen. He had been a starter this year for San Diego.
Sinking. That's right. He's a sinker slider, mainly slider, a lot of them. But he's going to try to get strike one in there, and he's got a sinker, wants to keep the ball down. See him up. 44% of his pitches are sliders, though, so he's a lot like Junis.
He was claimed off waivers from San Diego last Sunday and added to the active roster on Wednesday. There's a strike in there, but he was a starter for much of this season with the Padres, going 6-9 with a 4.45 ERA. So 123 innings he stretched out.
A big guy, 6'6", 240.
His last start was August 3rd at Chicago. Took his 9th loss in that one, giving up 3 runs in 5 innings.
Cardinals picked him up to eat up some innings out of their bullpen if they needed him. And he ends up making a call on an emergency start.
With Merrifield trying to break out of a mini slump. He has just 1 hit in his last 20 times up. And that's seen his batting average drop 10 points to 295. Dog days of August.
That's right. They're here.
Ross picks it up. 1 out.
Cardinals would like to pick up their slack on their defense. They've made a lot of errors. Jose Martinez is making his 12th start in right field. He's not the greatest fielder. And if you're a Royals hitter, aim for him. He's got 7 errors. That's right. Patrick Wisdom, the first baseman, making his big league debut today. This will be a big moment for him and his family. They'll never forget.
Now, he was called up yesterday when Munoz went to the disabled list. He was injured in game 1 of this series.
Good for him. That was another unexpected phone call that he'll never forget. Now he's a third baseman, but he's played some first base in his minor league days. 7 years down on the farm.
Hails from Murrieta, California, went to St. Mary's College.
Really, till you get that first ground ball, that first throw to you. Now that was a little comebacker to the pitcher. That really was a no-brainer. He'll be a little bit nervous. Have some butterflies. And usually the ball will find you. So heads up. Alice going to hit him one right here. 3-1. He's going to lace one right by him. Nope. Take the walk.
Well, that has been a problem for him recently. He's now walked 15 batters in his last 23 1/3 innings. Now Salvador Perez, 1 for 6 in the series with a walk. Perez caught first 2 games of the I-70 series, the designated hitter today. Way inside. StatCast AI, powered by AWS.
Last 100 balls hit. It didn't go very far. That's how they measure that.
But Rex, how about the way St. Louis's infield defense is playing? Straight up for Salvi. A lot of teams, even with a runner in first base, play him to pull dramatically.
Harder to defend over the fence. That's the one right there. That 90. That's the sinker up that Salvi missed. He loves those. I don't know how he took that one. And when Salvi's ahead in the count, he's a swinger. Be aggressive. Gordo's 4 out of 6 this year in steals. Situational runner, might think about it. Stay out of a double play here. With 1 out, it's a good situation. Run and make sure pitcher goes home and stay out of a double play potentially.
Salvi knocks it to left field. Gordon will stop at second base.
That's the one he wanted. He gets underneath that. That's going to be 2-0 lead. But he still was ready for it. He missed the previous one. That was a slider that just spun. But they call those a cement mixer in the middle of the plate. Lucky it's not 2-0.
This is the situation. The Royals have had a difficult time in this series. They are 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Last in the American League in that department at 224. But Duda comes up and he has good numbers here at home, and particularly the first inning.
2 for 4 against Ross with a homer in his career. And you mentioned it, 345 in the first innings with 3 homers and 16 ribbies. This is the time for him to shine right here.
And 298 in this ballpark. Two and 0.
Good discipline there. He likes those heaters right about there. He flinched, but he left it alone. Got a slight breeze. Looks like it's blowing in today, but you know what? It won't hold Duda if he gets a hold of one.
Three and 0. That was the problem we heard he had with the San Diego Padres. A lot of walks this year. Even though he had a 4.5 ERA, the Padres going with a youth movement. They deemed him expendable, so waived him. Claimed by St. Louis last Sunday. He's primarily been a starter across his 9 major league seasons with Oakland, San Diego, Texas. Now with St. Louis. In there, 3 and 1.
Okay, all right, here we go. That's a little bit up, I thought, but you know what though? Lucas Duda's in there to knock in a run. He's batting 4th in the team. He's got a 242 average with the runner in scoring position. There he is. Knock him in. Don't look for the walk.
And there is ball 4.
All right, we'll take it if he gives it to him. Now let's see what Rosie can do. They've got to be able to capitalize here.
And out comes Mike Maddox, the St. Louis pitching coach. He's only had a few days to work with Tyson Ross.
Remember, the Royals know about his walks, so they're being a little bit selective there. Duda's able to keep the line moving. To one of their most productive hitters, Rosie hitting .314 with runners in scoring position. Maddox is just saying, hey, look, just want to let you catch your breath here. Let's get us out of the first inning.
And because the Weaver was such a late scratch, Tyson Ross has had a lot of difficulties with left-handed batters, but the Royals didn't find out about the scratch until a few minutes before the ball game. They stay with the same lineup.
And you know what? You don't panic. You just go, all right, hey, look, he's in trouble. What's he got? I'm going to go out there and see him and hit him. And if you're Rosell right here, look for the first pitch. He's going to try to get in there with it. Think opposite field so you don't roll over and hit into a double play.
He went. Strike one.
That's exactly what Maddox was telling Ross. Let's get him to roll over. Let's use the defense. Let's put him in the lane. Roll him over and get out of the inning. But to counteract that, keep your hands inside the ball. Shoot him the other way.
Three pitches to get just one out. To the right side, and Wisdom bobbles it. That will be the 91st error this year by St. Louis defenders, and the Royals take the early 1-0 lead.
What did I say? That ball will find you. It will find you. And in the opportune time for the Royals. And so his first big league play to Wisdom, had a chance to just get one, but he was thinking. He's thinking, I'm going to go to the bag, I'm going to throw it. He was thinking before he caught the ball, and that ate him up. And he'll never forget that clank. Tough way to start your big league career. Now make it hurt.
Bonifacio breaking ball in there, strike one. According to StatCast, Tyson Ross has thrown a major league leading 923 sliders this year. He has a good one, 44% of his total pitches in just 20 fewer than his four-seam fastball.
Look him up that first inning. He's trying to locate it, trying to command it.
To jam Bonifacio in the first two pitches. Perez now at third, Duda at second, Herrera first. Just does graze the outside corner, 1-2.
Been a tough year all the way around, really, for the Royals. But with the bases loaded, is hitting .213. They're not able to capitalize when they can. That's been a big story about their offense this year.
To the left side, fielded by Jerko. They've got 1 and 2. The Royals do score a run in the first, but they leave a pair. We head to the second inning of play. KC 1, St. Louis 0. And Royals fans, if you can't catch a game on TV, you can stream games live on your mobile device. Download the Fox Sports Go app, log in, and stream the Royals. Jacob Junis getting ready for his second inning of work. Marcell Ozuna swings and misses at that slider, and now down in the count 0-2. He has been plagued by a shoulder injury much of this season, and they hope to have a different Marcell Ozuna next year. Ball way outside 1-2.
Still, numbers aren't too bad. Could be worse. 61 ribbies, 270, 13 homers.
Swing and a miss. That's strikeout number 3 for Jacob.
Look at that. Now you see it, now you don't. It disappears. Got a really good spin rate on that breaking pitch there. So that allows it to dip like it does and fool the hitter.
Strike in there. Paul DeYoung, the batter, 2 for 9, hit a home run in the game 1 victory, 7-0. That ball knocked foul. Vance Wilson was Jacob Junis's manager at Northwest Arkansas in 2016. I remember talking with Jacob about his belief in Vance Wilson as a manager and a guy who really helped him out a lot. There's a breaking ball low, and after his first 2 games, Jacob was struggling, and Vance called him into his office and he said, you have to focus on every pitch, throw every pitch with conviction. I want to help you get to the major leagues, but it's up to you, young man. And Jacob took it to heart, and after that he really focused. His preparation was different, and obviously in the big leagues now. Vance very proud of him. Stays 2-2. You know what that's like, Hud, being in the minor leagues for so long, to have a manager or hitting coach that believed in you.
Yeah, and when they don't, you better believe in yourself. But it is nice whenever you get a pep talk like that, but there's a lot of players, Fizz, that ain't getting that pep talk. So it's up to you to be able to focus and do your thing, but it's nice to have a little reminder like that once in a while. Tough business.
Junis early in this one is able to locate his sinker, and that almost always seems to be his key because his slider has been such a good swing and miss pitch. But 15 of the 26 home runs he's given up this year have been off of that fastball.
Yeah, and it's not located. It's in the middle. And usually it's been early too. Early in games when he's trying to find himself, he'll leave one out over the middle. It's not that easy at this level. They don't miss. That's why you got to be as finely tuned as you can. But you know what? They're only human. You're going to miss, and the hitter's got to wait for it. Good swing.
Foul.
It's a breaking ball that stayed up. He stayed right with it, did John.
By the way, Hud, after that conversation with Vance Wilson, Jacob Junis, he was the Northwest Arkansas Pitcher of the Year. DeYoung came into this game hitting .243. Royals playing him to pull on the infield.
He should be playing him. That's all he's doing.
Yeah.
If they turn the field around, heck, he'd be batting 1,000. Turn that a little bit more towards the left side. He's hitting a ton of foul balls.
11th pitch of the at-bat coming. Ross threw a ton of pitches in his first. And I believe it struck him on that left thigh.
Facet. Driving impaired affects lives.
That's the 11th batter that Junis has hit this year. So DeYoung at first base. Jed Jerko is the batter.
DeYoung, 7th time he's been hit. Leads the Cardinals. He's been plunked the most. Jed Jerko, he likes to get up there and just wail. He's anything middle in. He don't get cheated that often. Takes a good solid rip.
DeYoung has yet to steal a base this year. 0 for 1. I wouldn't mind seeing Herrera turn a double play. See him around the back. He's played a lot of second base in the minor leagues with the Colorado Rockies.
He's got one game there for Cincinnati in the big leagues. But this might be his best position.
Strike in there, 2-2. As a matter of fact, Ned Yost told us that 80% of his minor league career was at second base and working with our infield instructor Mike Jersley before the game.
That is mental stuff. No glove. Just talking about the game, talking about the position, what to look for, who might be their bunners.
He went. 4 strikeouts for Junis.
Yeah, it's a good one, especially if you're committed to something else.
Jacob pitched well on that last start against the Cubs, but received a no decision in Chicago's 3-1 victory. He struck out 8 batters in 5 innings. 6 of the 8 were on sliders. The wind's really picked up now, Hud, out of the south-southeast and blowing out towards left.
Yeah, it has picked up a little bit here, but you know what? Junis not going to worry about that. He will execute his pitch here with 2 outs, pop him up.
Greg Garcia getting a start. Greg lost his grandfather earlier this year, a guy who we knew for many years. Baseball life for Dave Garcia.
Yep. Great man. Tremendous baseball man.
Coach, scout, manager in big leagues and minor leagues for many seasons.
And Greg's dad, Dave Garcia, was my first double play combination partner in Oneonta, New York when I was a rookie.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I got to meet the whole family early. And they were awfully proud of Greg. Greg's done a nice job. He's worked hard. Good utility type player, can play infield and outfield.
Herrera has it. First opportunity, worked nicely. Alcides Escobar will hit second when we come back. He had a good game last night with a pair of hits, including a big fly.
in the second inning, and Joel Goldberg down by the home dugout. Some transactions to talk about this morning as Blaine Boyer has been activated from the disabled list. He had been on the 60-day, so in order to make room for him on the 25-man roster, Glenn Sparkman was optioned to AAA. One pitch and one quick out there. And then, as we see in the University of Kansas Health System injury update, Jorge Soler transferred to the 60-day disabled list. That is to make room on the overall 40-man roster for Boyer. But talking to the training staff today, guys, and that move of Soler going to the 60-day is purely based on the roster, has nothing to do with his progress. He has been taking outfield drills, and he's really doing well. Nick Kenny telling me that they have initiated his running program. They have initiated his hitting program. He's throwing. To this point, they say he is meeting every expectation and timeline. One other piece of news: Danny Duffy got an injection last night after the game. Has had a little bit of stiffness in his shoulder over the last few starts. Might get pushed back a few days, possibly miss a start. But that is it on Duffy. Maybe explains some of his recent struggles.
Thank you very much, Joel. And they said it has been bothering him the last few starts. And Ned Yost told us before the game that he would make a decision on Tuesday on if he will be pushed back or make that next start that you talked about. Here's Escobar. Here's a 4-game hit streak, 6 for his last 13. You go back even a little further, last 6 games batting .400. That is our Kia drive to success. A swing and a miss, and Tyson Ross gets his first strikeout.
Yep, same thing. It's a tough pitch for any hitter, but what makes it even more difficult is when you're looking for that fastball, you're committed to it. You don't have that long to see it and hit it, and then when they put the spin on it like that, it throws you off.
We talked about how yesterday we celebrated the 1985 World Championship that the Royals won. Today we're celebrating those who were part of that 2015 World Championship team. And there's a foul back, and between the inning breaks, HUD, they're playing video of certain moments on the big scoreboard in center field. And between the last half inning, they showed Alex Gordon's home run to center field off of Familia in Game 1 of the World Series. And man, it still gives me chills watching that moment.
Yep. The moment that got me excited was the first at-bat of the game. That was in Game 1 when Eske hit that inside the Parker.
Here is a swing and a miss, and down goes Butera. Well, when we come back, we'll talk about 2015 with this man, Luke Hochhaver, the stars of that great Royals bullpen. us a world championship in 2015, like Luke Hochaver, Chris Young, and Kris Medlen was also here. They threw out the first pitch. And just a great moment, because there's so many memories that come back, and we are honored and delighted to have with us Rex Adler, Steve Physiak, Luke Hochaver, who was such an integral part of that world championship team. And Luke, the one thing I remember about you is how selfless you were. You didn't care whether you started, relieved, you just wanted to help this organization win.
Well, I don't think that was necessarily just me. That's kind of the attitude that entire team took on. You know, and it was just like we knew we had something special. We knew we had an opportunity to do something big, and that was kind of the mindset that the whole team took on. So it wasn't necessarily just me. You know, it was just kind of, I just kind of fell in order with what everybody else was doing.
But Hoach, to be able to be the winner in Game 5, I mean, you had a nice Royals career. It was long. You know, you met a lot of people here, a lot of friends, but that had to be one of the best moments, huh?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, that is what you dream about as a kid growing up. That's what you dream about as a big leaguer. And so to have that opportunity and to be able to help the club in that situation, you know, it was fortunate that we decided to score 7 runs while I was pitching. And so it worked out great.
And so when you saw your name in the W column at the end of the game, your dad saw that you guys were on the field, and can you share that moment with us?
Yeah, I actually didn't even realize it at that moment, you know, because I mean, you're fighting for a world championship, and so everybody is just jacked up out of their minds. And as soon as the game ended and we hugged everybody, you know, 7 times and done all those things, after it was all said and done, they left it up on the scoreboard. I remember my pops grabbing me and saying, you know, look up there at that board, you know. And so we looked up there together, and then we both just cried like babies. It was awesome.
Because it had WP, winning pitcher, Hochaver, yep. And your dad told you, he said, hey, Luke, remember this moment for the rest of your life, because that's video you can show your grandkids.
Yeah, no doubt. It was a very special moment for sure.
There's a little roller that Junis will not be able to reach, and that will be a base hit for Patrick Wisdom. His first at bat, Major Leagues, kid gets a hit.
How about that, Hoach? That's a squibber, but his folks are saying tomorrow they'll be saying line shot. That was a line drive.
No doubt about it. Goes down as a knock. That's all that matters.
That's right. Hoach, you got one of those in your career. What was that like?
I only got one. I think I was 1 for 27 with 21 punch outs. But yeah, I did. Mine was a laser to right off of Wandy Rodriguez.
A real laser?
It was a laser.
Okay, all right.
For sure.
145 miles an hour coming off the bat.
Yeah. No, actually, I think it was a jam job.
Yeah, there you go.
And exactly. I might have cracked my barrel and, you know, everything else. But hey, I got a knock, and that's probably my most prized framed jersey and bat and ball is my knock in the big leagues.
No way.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to keep those moments.
I'm going with the winning baseball from Game 5. Well, right now you have Patrick Wisdom at first base and Matt Carpenter at the plate. We're visiting with Luke Hochaver, part of that 15 World Championship. Luke, I wanted to ask you, going back to the 14 season, I remember the team finishes second to the San Francisco Giants. They're in the World Series. Yet when I went to spring training the next year, I opened up the First Baseball magazine. They had the Royals picked 4th in the American League Central, and I go, good. These guys are going to have a chip on their shoulder, and you guys did. It seemed like that entire 15-year, you had something to prove.
I felt like 13 was a big year for us because that was kind of the year that we popped. I think we missed the playoffs by 4 games.
Yeah,
am I correct?
10 games over 500.
And so we were right there.
Right.
And we ended the year good, and we just started clicking as a club. And then that following year, everybody knew we were primed up, ready to go. And so being picked 4th in the Central, everybody just kind of looked around the room like, I don't think this is right. We might have a little proving to do. But no, it was great. I think internally, obviously, we knew we were a lot better than that.
Yeah.
Coach, though, after that Game 7 loss to the Giants, I remember walking through the clubhouse towards the end of the game after it was all over, and man, it was painful. I couldn't stay in there long. I had to leave because it was like somebody lost a family member in there. It was really devastating to you guys.
Oh yeah, it was.
Oh.
That was one of the hardest losses that I've ever been a part of. Which obviously I don't know how tougher that can get. I mean,
Right.
Game 7 of the World Series, and you're right there. You know, it wasn't like we got blown out, or you know, you're right there the whole time, and it was tough. But it was the greatest thing that happened to the club, because it lit a fire that probably could have never been lit if things didn't happen how they did.
Yeah, Coach, take us through the pitch by pitch to Cespedes, if you remember this. Look at this. This is a day game here. Look at that. Nice little action. Good little slider, right?
We're just, you know, obviously Cespedes is a guy that's going to do a lot of damage, you know, and so especially in that spot, I'm trying to throw my highest percentage pitch in his lowest percentage location and attack the hitter in that source, especially, you know, in the playoffs. I mean, it all comes down to preparation and knowing your opponent and knowing your strengths and finding a combination there that you can go out and get the job done.
So then quickly, after that loss of Game 7, fast forward to spring training. 2, 3, 4 weeks in, I get to spring training. I walk through the clubhouse and everybody's staring at me like they want to kick my butt, and they're like, I could feel it. There was an energy of job not done that you guys were focused on. You're going to go all the way this year, and you went wire to wire.
Yeah.
Unbelievable feat by the team to go 14 and 15 and then capture it in 15.
I remember walking into spring training that following year in 15 and feeling the exact same thing. It was like that loss hadn't gone away yet. It was almost like we still walked in and the first day of spring training, and it was like last night we lost the World Series. That's how it felt. And so,
meantime, excuse me, has just hit his second St. Louis Cardinal, and looked like Yachty stared out at Jacob.
Part of the game, Hoach.
yeah, part of it. It hurts.
Got to come
Pitch inside. You got to pitch inside every so often. Let's see it. One got away. Hit him right on that pad anyway.
That hurts. You know what hurts worse is when they hit a liner off your shin.
Yeah.
It's coming back a whole lot harder.
Ooh, yeah, Hoach, we've seen a few of those here this year.
Now Jose Martinez.
Heath Philmeyer took a 107-mile-an-hour shot off of Rizzo's bat off his ankle.
Oh.
He stayed in the game and had his best and first big league start. It was his first win as a major leaguer. He stayed in and went 7 innings.
Golly.
Yeah, just gave up 2 hits.
Tougher than me.
It was the first hitter of the game. Yeah, I know a lot of pitchers. I was saying a lot of pitchers be out.
Yeah.
107.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's a bad spot too.
Martinez has been very good this year with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Luke, when I look back at that team, I thought the starting pitchers were the epitome of selflessness, because all they wanted to do somehow get a tie game or a 1-run lead to the 6th inning and let guys like you and Wade Davis and Jason Frazier and Chris Young and Kelvin Herrera and Greg Holland and on take over. When you have a reunion, let's say 25 years ago, what are the moments that bullpen might be talking about?
Oh man, there are so many moments, because that's how we played as a club. Is it would be tight, you know, to the 6th, 7th. I can't tell you how many games we won. You could probably look it up, or you guys probably know how many games we won in the 8th inning.
Right.
And so we just knew we were going to win, and we knew that we just had to keep it close. And I think that was just more of experience in how this club was wired. That we knew we played such exciting baseball. We knew we ran the bases well, super good speed on the bases, and we were going to come back and win. So as long as we were within striking distance, it was going to happen.
You have 30 wins by the bullpen, 56 saves, most innings pitched by a bullpen that year, almost 540. So you guys will work. I mean,
we shared it around, though.
Yeah,
that's what they want. They want to work.
Yeah, heck yeah. There was
just by Herrera into center field. Wisdom will score, and moving to third, Molina.
Talked about Jose Martinez, what a clutch hitter he is. He leads the Cardinals with runners on base at 342, but coming in with runner in scoring position 324, he's all over it. And watch this, he's looking for something up, and wouldn't you know, leaves a slider up, hittable to any hitter, but let alone one of their best. And Rosie almost gloved it. It was hit hard. You can't lay that one on Rosie, but he almost got to it. Birds are tough. They're hot right now.
So I'm sure a lot of fans want to know, what are you doing right now? What's in the future?
Well, you know, a lot of time with the family for sure, which has been a huge blessing. And now I'm just really, I'm just kind of combining all my passions that I have. One a passion for my faith, a passion for the outdoors, and just combining that, and a passion for ball players, and a passion for veterans. And so I've just kind of combined it all, and it's been fun.
Well, it's been a blast being around you. Good to call you friend.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. In 2017 at the age of 39, and described by cancer care team at the University of Kansas Cancer Center, a breath of fresh air. She and Tyler are now large supporters of other cancer-related events in the community and attend Treads and Threads, which her employer P1 Group is a title sponsor. Hillary participated in the 2017 Komen Kansas City Race for the Cure and was recognized as one of 40 breast cancer survivors at the NASCAR Hollywood Casino 400 at Kansas Speedway in October of last year. And she is now giving back to that community.
Way to go, Hillary. We're with you in your battle.
Indeed. With Merrifield up. Rolls it up the middle. DeYoung goes out Witt, one down. If the Royals hit a triple in today's game, the Kansas City Honda dealers will make a $1,000 donation to the Kansas City Major League Baseball Urban Youth Academy. Ross seems to have settled down after a rough first inning. He did get out of a bases loaded situation with a 5-4-3 double play. Alex takes it low, 2 balls and no strikes. Gordon scored the only run, scoring on the error by Patrick Wisdom. With a 2-0 count, all of a sudden they have moved more dramatically on the infield to the right side. 3-0. Tyson hails from the East Bay of California, went to Cal Berkeley. Strike in there. Fouled off.
Right idea. A lot of holes over there on that left side. That's what you got to do. Get her going. Some going here with one out. Plenty of avenues to get it going.
Alex rolls it past the mound. The second baseman Garcia will throw him out.
Fans, as you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the whole true moment later in today's game.
Now Salvador Perez, who muscled a single to left field his last time up. He takes strike one. Slider, and that is his best pitch. 0-2. To the right side, Martinez still chasing it, and that's a fair ball. It will bounce into the stands, so Perez must be held at second base with the ground rule double. But he's 2 for 2, and the Royals have the go-ahead run in scoring position with 2 out.
That's what I was talking about. Talking about their infield. If you want to hit it to right. And unfortunately for Salvi, the ball bounced over. If it hit the wall, he would have been able to get a 3-bagger out of that. Good hustle by Martinez.
I would really love to have seen Salvador Perez get an inside the park home run.
Never know. Had that kicked and went on down by that bullpen, you just never know.
This would have been one of those seasons where you go, what is one thing that would never happen in a Royal season? To have Drew Butera and Salvador Perez each hit inside the park home runs in the same year.
Yep. Interesting. Both catchers. Well, a lot would have been said about that with Billy Butler the year he hit that inside the Parker. When Nick Markakis of the Orioles, a little ball in front of him, he dove, and hey.
That ball well struck down the right field line. It is hooking and going foul.
Yep. But to have 2 catchers in one season, that would have been unheard of. Look at that kid. Hey, that's a game ball I got. Look at the excitement in him.
He's the hero of that whole clan right there.
Look at him. That's so great. It's like seeing the kids' faces that come off the field when they take the field before the game with the Royals.
Line drive base hit to center field. Salvi, they're going to wave him home. Bader's got a good arm. Perez is safe.
What a slide by Salvi. Wow.
I don't know how he kept his hand and was able to touch that plate.
Oh my. I'll tell you, the center fielder Bader, he's got a cannon. And when Jersey was sending Salvi around, I knew it was going to be close. Bader with his 5 outfield assists, looking for 6. Yachty thought he got the tag on him, but Salvi was able to get his right hand on there. And in the meantime, see, that ball hit the mound and slowed the ball down a little bit. Great slide.
Wow. They are going to take a look at it, though.
Well, he got a little road rash on his chin, but watch this. Did he tag him? No, he didn't tag him. That right hand over on the plate.
He did get it on his chin, but I don't know if Salvi had the hand down first.
Yeah, he did. Watch it.
Watch him knock off his helmet. Flashes up. He's got the plate.
Believe it.
It's got to be clear and convincing.
It's excellent. I mean, really.
Look at that. How did he avoid it from hitting his chest?
He's an athlete. Look at that. Big guy, very agile. We've seen him move around the plate, and the fans are loving this one.
And to slide into home against one of his all-time heroes, Yadier Molina, this is special. Duda with a big hit there.
Yadier Molina has been checking every single replay they've been sending up on.
Okay, no tag here. Okay, no tag on the arm. You see the space. Did he tag him in the chin? Hand down and chin. Oh, man, that was close. I like the initial call. I don't think there's enough to overturn it. No tag. Now watch him. Now he's going to slap him in the chin with a tag here, but the hand's down right there before the tag. And obviously, Molina didn't mean to tag him in the nose like that, but that just happens. A lot safer than slides used to be at home. And that's why they changed the rule.
With 2 out, you knew they'd be aggressive, but how aggressive? Because of, like you said, Bader's arm.
Well, Salvi got a great jump. I saw it on contact. He was off. And he took a great angle around third base, and maybe we'll get to show that again.
Safe. So St. Louis loses their challenge.
Okay, watch Salvi's jump. Okay, on contact, he's going. 2 outs, is going on anything. Bader, strong arm. Watch where this ball hits. Back of the mound, slowed it down some. Salvi with the athletic slide. Beauty.
Duda was able to make it to second base on the throw. He picked up his 42nd RBI.
Boy, I tell you what. Outstanding photographer John Sleezer, long-time photographer, gets a picture of that. I'm sure he did. Salvador Perez will have that in his desk, in his office someday. Right over here. Great shot here. And he's able to get that hand on top, and the call stood. That was beautiful.
Because he is the biggest Yadier Molina fan.
Exactly. He'll have that shot for his archive. Won't stop there. Now Duda, similar speed as Salvi. He'll have to get a good jump and be just right in order to make it home, especially with the throwing arms. Osuna in left field has 5 outfield assists. Martinez in right has an average arm and no outfield assists yet.
Back up to middle. Into center field. Duda's being waved home. Bader's throw. This time on the money, out.
Yeah, not this time. Bader is way too good. What a throw. But they were able to get one. Get Judas back to lead. 2-1 here. He's at it. We talked about his slider and the importance of it in the open of our show. The keys to beat the Cardinals today, and it's worked. He's got 6 strikeouts, 5 on the slider. There he is. Slide him out. That means slide him out of town here, hopefully with a W.
High in the air, Merrifield shading his eyes from that sun. And he pulls it down for out number 1. Refreshing saves from Price Chopper and Aquafina. Sign up at mypricechopper.com/saves to save on Aquafina when the Royals get a save. Jerko struck out first time up. 2-3. Dozier has it. 2 out.
You know, you young baseball infielders out there, just take a little peek at a routine play here. Dozier, watch him get his glove. He's going to catch it. Okay, first, watch him. Gets his feet, taps his glove. Why does he tap his glove? For timing. That's important on a routine ball, that you get your feet underneath you. That's a crow hop towards the direction you're going to throw it. Tap the glove to get the feet right over the top across the diamond. Nicely done. And if you're any kind of a baseball player at all and you're in the infield, you must make the routine play for your team to win. Catch the ball and throw it properly. Got a chance to win games. Talked about the defense of the Kansas City Royals last night, setting that team mark for the 3rd time. They've set 11 games without making an error. Really impressive considering Dozier's playing 3rd, 1st. Rosell Herrera's playing all outfield positions. Bonifacio's going around. Merrifield's playing all different spots. Alex Gordon's in line for his 6th Gold Glove. It's been impressive. It's not sloppy baseball, and so they're getting beat by giving up some runs and not getting timely hits.
Yeah, every time you and I get here early, the guys are out in the field before batting practice working on defensive drills or PFP.
5 days a week.
Yep.
Every single day. All of them. Starters, everyone. Doesn't matter. They're out there working, and that's one of the reasons why you have to work. Nothing comes easy. It takes time to work, and if you don't work, you won't be good.
Well, they are committed, and as Ned Yost said yesterday, what they're trying to do is just create an atmosphere of success. They've done it before, trying to do it with this young group.
It's part of the process this year. I think Royals fans understand that, and they're with them. It's not going to take them as long to build another championship team. It's been a great weekend to talk about this. At the last couple of days, celebrating their world championships, the 2 of them that they have, 85 and 15.
Rosell Herrera throws him out. 1-2-3 for Jacob Junis.
Make the routine plays and you win.
the Dodge Summer Clearance Event and get a great deal. Bottom four here at Kauffman Stadium. Final game of the Show Me Series. I-70 Series. Another good crowd on hand. We've had three very good crowds at sold out ballpark last night. Bonifacio to lead things off. Ross gave up one in the first and one in the third. The Royals would have scored more had it not been for Harrison Bader's right arm. That ball struck pretty well left center field. Bader off to the races. Instead it is Ozuna calls him off and makes the catch. 1 out.
Our second annual healthcare services night is back at the K this Tuesday night. Purchase your theme ticket to receive an exclusive Cherokee brand Royals scrub top and watch the Royals take on the Toronto Blue Jays at 7:15. Get your theme ticket today at royals.com/theme tickets.
Dozier hit the ball hard his first time up and grounded out to third. Oh, and 2. Tyson Ross now 31 years of age. He made his major league debut in 2010 versus Seattle. And for Oakland, he wore the number 66, Hud, because that was the street he was raised on, which is very close to the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum on 66th Avenue.
Pretty cool, but maybe they didn't have 66 available, so we got 33.
Well, that's 33 here. So
right.
we just cut it in half.
That's right.
In there, strike 3 call. Ball got away, but bounced right back to Molina, who will record the strikeout of Hunter Dozier. Boy, hit something on the base of that backstop and bounced directly back towards Yadi Molina.
All right, Mo Lottery replay. We'll show you. How about this play here? Also at first base by Wisdom. It's a good pick now. Ball. Somehow Yadi just missed it. Dozier, you know, he hesitated a little bit, and Yadi was trying to frame it. He was trying to pick it up and, you know, and turn it in, and he missed it. And Dozier, the fact that he waited that long cost him. Sometimes it doesn't register until, especially with Yadi or Molina, you were thinking he'd catch a called third strike.
Escobar struck out his first time up. Singled, homered, and walked last night. Ground ball to third. Jerko will throw him out. That does it for the Royals. When we come back, we'll visit with Kris Medlen, part of that 2015 Royals bullpen, also a starter. That great bullpen with Hochaver and Chris Young, the guys who can come back and celebrate. Steve Physiak, Rex Hudler. We're now joined by Kris Medlen. And Chris, I wanted to get your thoughts on coming back to Kansas City and just getting the feel of the crowd during those postseasons.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough with Atlanta to get a couple postseason games in. It was a great experience, but I feel like when you bump up to, through the playoffs and just that next level and then the next level into the World Series, it was electrifying. I mean, you can feel it in your chest. You can feel it. Just you can literally feel the energy, and it's something that you'll never forget. I mean, you remember it forever.
I think they had 11 wins that postseason, and I remember Eric Hosmer saying 8 of those 11 victories we were behind, and he said when we were home we really felt that the crowd lifted us to victory.
Absolutely, yeah. And even 2014, I was watching from afar, but you could hear the crowd through the TV. I mean, it was insane. It
Chris,
was something to be part of.
Can I see your ring?
Oh yeah.
Like,
it doesn't fit the same after retirement. It's getting a little tight.
It is. It's beautiful, folks. That is a very classy Royals ring. Man, way to go! Way to bring it up here, man, so we could show it off.
Yeah, I'm the only one who brought it. CY's got his in storage.
Yeah.
He's moving up to New York, and then Poach forgot his. So I mean, I'm repping it. Proudly,
No.
Way to go.
Thank you. Now, do you wear it often, or only like on special occasions when you go out? Because it is a conversation piece.
Yeah, my second time wearing it was like on one of the flights, because a lot of guys were wearing it the following year, and I was hitting my hand on stuff. I didn't even realize I would just bump random things that I never knew I was bumping before. So I stopped wearing it. But I mean, I wore it to the White House, and then I did the little TV gig for MLB Network one time in Milwaukee. So yeah, wore it for that too.
And here's a little of the action that you had that season. And the one thing that I asked Luke Hochaver, there was a selflessness on that team where guys like yourself didn't care whether you started, relieved, just how can I help the team be successful?
I felt like it was a great mix. Like each individual, whether you were like more passive in terms of like how you are in the clubhouse or how vocal you were, like there was the extremely vocal guys, the Dysons, the Mooses, all those guys, and then there's the really quiet guys, and we all kind of just met in the middle and became this like extremely confident bunch of baseball players that. And then we made those trades, got Cueto and Zobrist, and after that it was like, boys, this is going down. This is going to happen. We were already playing really well, and you throw those guys in the mix and really put us over the top.
Visiting with Dayton Moore, I believe in July, I said, Dayton, we're probably going to win the Central, but do we have enough to win a world championship? And he goes, Steve, I will get those ingredients, but I will not do anything to affect the chemistry we currently have in the clubhouse. And of course, you get Zobrist and you get Cueto. Could you talk about those two individuals, along with Johnny Gomes?
Yeah, exactly. Guys with playoff experience. I mean, that's a huge thing. I mean, you had a young team that, I guess making it to Game 7 of the World Series and losing that, going into spring training, that was my first experience with them in 2015 spring training, and you couldn't tell that they lost Game 7 of the World Series. I mean, they were like ready to go, like so confident, and like I said, if you were low on confidence, going in that clubhouse, because they're bringing you up, and it's like, hey, we're going, boys, let's go. So it was just the entire environment. It was just, you had no choice but to go out there and give it everything you got.
So and that's what a lot of the new sabermetric analytic data that's involved in the game today, those guys don't really understand chemistry. That's chemistry. That's a good, positive, energetic chemistry that you can't put a number on.
Yeah, and I felt like Ned was doing interviews all season, spring training all season, about like, well, what is it about this team? Because everybody's picking the Royals to win 76 games every year, and we're like, no, we're gonna do really well, So and Ned was doing interviews all year, like, you can't measure what we've got. You can't measure what a good team has, like chemistry, all that stuff, the clubhouse thing. You're a former player,
Exactly.
You know what it's like.
Yeah, and that's positive energy.
Exactly.
Okay, you have energy givers and takers, and we've been talking a lot about that with the Royals rebuilding with young players that have energy. The kid Brett Phillips has got a ton of energy. Herrera, their second baseman today, has got great energy, and so they're having fun. Mondesi, they're all feeding off each other, but they're athletic. And they're good in the clubhouse.
Exactly, and when you're young, I mean, there's a learning curve. And right now they've got some guys out there that they're learning. So I mean, Mondesi last year compared to this year, I feel like he's he's a different player. He's showing a little bit of more experience and not swinging at the same pitches he was before.
Kris, we got 2 outs, so we got to be careful here. A lot of young pitchers the Royals have this year. Junis, have you had a chance to see Jake Junis in his game?
Yeah, I follow the teams that I played for. I follow the Braves, Royals, and the Diamondbacks of this year. But yeah, Jake's done great. I feel like really good slider, really good breaking ball, pounds the zone.
Just
good
like
pitcher.
that.
I mean, there you go.
Awesome.
You called it.
Kris, thanks very much.
Hey,
Appreciate you coming up, Kris.
Blessings on
have a
a
good
great
one, man.
life. Enjoy your family.
Will do.
A franchise record for the most consecutive innings without an error at 107.
No, I didn't. I knew they were getting close, but congratulations. Beautiful job.
It has been a tough year as far as wins go, but what they're trying to see is progress, growth, development, and obviously one of that areas is defense, and the Royals with the second fewest errors in the American League to the Houston Astros. Ground ball softly struck to DeYoung. Gutierrez out number 1.
Fans, bring your four-legged Royals fans to the game with you this Wednesday, August 15th, with a special Bark at the Park theme ticket. Purchase your tickets at Royals.com/theme tickets. In order to receive a Royals branded bandana, you can bring your canine friend with you.
Now with Merrifield looking for his first hit of this series, 0 for 9. Tyson Ross gave up a run, an unearned run in the first, and then gave up an earned run in the third.
Ross has done a nice job for that little emergency call he got. It's interesting how that happens. Usually you're at your locker at a certain time before you take the field to go out and go to the bullpen if you're a bullpen guy. And what happened was that the manager will tell a coach or a pitching coach, Mike Maddox in this situation, hey, go tell Ross he's starting today. So Ross is sitting there minding his own business, gets a little tap on the shoulder and says, hey, the manager wants to see you. Probably, the manager says that. So he'll go into his office. You're a little bit nervous. What's he want to say? You're starting today. Wow, okay. So Ross didn't have any chance to get butterflies or get all worked up. He says, all right. He turns that switch on mentally, and he goes out and does his job. So far, he has been keeping his team right in the game. That's why they picked him up.
I would imagine that he found out so late that you don't have a great chance to go over the scouting report because you've got to physically get ready. So you're basically trusting Molina.
Well, Fizz, 100 years ago, they had no scouting reports on anybody. What do? They go out and play the game. Little country hardball. Let's play, folks. Come on, here's what I got. See if you can hit it. When you keep the game that simple, that's fun.
Witt hitting in tough luck as Wisdom takes care of his line drive.
Got dirty. That make up for that first clank of the day or of his career he had there. But he's in the right place. Sitting way off. I guarantee you Whitley's starting to pull out his hair now. He's going, man, what am I going to have to do? He's in one of those little funks where nothing seems to be falling for him.
Gordon pulls one foul. It has been amazing whoever that St. Louis has inserted into that starting rotation. They have performed very well. I mean, they don't have 4 of their starters, Martinez, Waka, Wainwright, and Reyes, available because of an injury. And they just march on. There's a line drive right into the glove of the starting pitcher, Tyson Ross. And he records the out. That does it for KC. To the 6th we go. 2-1 Royals. This outstanding through 5 innings, eliminating the St. Louis Cardinals, who came in averaging just under 5 runs per game to just 1, while striking out 8 batters, not walking any.
Now look at that. See, he's using a little bit of up and down, especially with the slider working today.
This is the 3rd time through the order for Jacob Junis. Again, we celebrate the '85 and 2015 World Championships this weekend here in Kansas City at Kauffman Stadium. But Jacob's numbers usually go south a little bit. 3rd time through the order after 85 pitches, and the 85th pitch in there, strike 1. Martinez drove in the only run with a single to center field.
You know, Fizz, I'm really happy for this young man. Cafito, they call him. Martinez. I played with his dad, Carlos Martinez, in 1995 with the California Angels. And his dad was a lot like him. He was a good hitter, big, 6 foot, you know, maybe 6'5", 6'6", had the same kind of frame. And then unfortunately he passed, but this young man right here is taking over for his daddy. His daddy, they call him, his dad was Cafe, we called him Cafe, and then this is Cafito, they call him. It's a little cafe. So
He's a designated hitter in the American League waiting to happen. Has, you know, really, there's not a lot of positions he could play. The Cardinals tried to move him before the deadline, but they just couldn't get a deal worked out. But this young man has a nice future. He's an excellent hitter. I mean, he can cover some ground. He goes line to line with power, and he's a prototypical DH in the waiting. So they're finding places for him here, and he's not that bad a defensive player. It's just that you can't rely on him every day. He can
hits
rake.
that one sharply, and Herrera gathers it in, throws him out.
Soft hands.
One down.
How about that? Rosie's showing some soft hands.
Time now for today's Sprint trivia question. Luke Hochevar is one of 3 first overall picks to win a World Series game. Name one of the other 2. Verlander was the first overall, wasn't he? And he won a championship last year. Or was he second overall?
Well,
or how about Tim Belcher?
Good name. Tim Belcher? Where'd you come up with him?
Well,
I like
he was
that.
a good pitcher.
He was a 1-1. He was the first overall. All right, write those names down. We'll throw some names out, and then we'll make our final pick. I didn't know Belcher was a 1-1.
I'm not sure if he was.
How many? We have to name just one of the next 2. We only have to name one. There's 2 others.
And they're pitchers, right? Are they pitchers or?
Yeah.
Okay.
To win a World Series game, yeah.
Zuna takes it low. Fouled off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. These Cardinals came into this game 5.5 games back of the Chicago Cubs. Cubs host Washington on Sunday Night Baseball tonight. That's going to be a good matchup with Max Scherzer going up against Cole Hamels. Milwaukee's in front of St. Louis. Junis is going to go straight to the bag, and they say safe.
I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. You know, they're going to take a look at this, but this was an excellent play and a very difficult play for Lucas Duda, the first baseman. They want to go over it and replay it. Duda having to come on a squibber like that all the way, full momentum going. Watch this. He picks it up. He's got to be able to turn his body and locate the throw. And I look like he got it.
I think he did.
He got his foot on the base. Okay, catch.
You know, at
where's
first
the bag?
he didn't. And
bag with the heel. Oh, then he kicked him.
But you know, Billy Duplessis so good at these decisions, and Billy made the decision immediately.
You mean
Check
the connoisseur of replay?
Is that what you're calling him now?
Better believe that's right. Watch his heel. Does his heel get down? Oh.
Not there, but there.
There's the mark they
Out.
need. Yes. Super
Way to go, Billy.
It makes him 23 for 29. Tops in baseball on his replays.
And Hud, you're right about Duda. He's a very underrated first baseman.
Oh, you know what? That just goes to show you again about the work and these difficult plays and still continuing to build on their errorless streak. I mean, Duda, he's fabulous.
In the air, center field. Merrifield makes the catch, and that's 108 consecutive innings without an error by the Kansas City Royals.
Check it out. Duda with a nice slash. Salvi at second base. The race is on. Bader, the center fielder. Great arm. Salvi. The tag was there by Molina, but Salvi was with a nifty slide. Puts his right hand on the plate. Oh, and got it in there in time. That was sweet.
Looks like Junis this afternoon is over. Ned Yost patting him on the back. The Royals do have a right-hander up in their bullpen. The sixth inning, of course, is our Sonic Slam inning. Our contestant is Edward Larson from Warsaw, Missouri. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, Edward will win $900. And if the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Kauffman Stadium will go crazy, and Edward will get $25,000. Perez is out. As Lucas Duda comes up, he communicated really well on that defensive play in that last inning.
That's what it takes. Listen, he's going to yell at Junis. So right away, that told Junis that it's your bag. Get over. And then Duda took charge and made a difficult play look easy.
And Lucas is so soft-spoken that when he barks at someone, it's a surprise.
Look where he's playing now. He's okay. Look at him. No, okay. They're just watching a routine out right there. That was pretty good form, though, by both of them.
Yes, very good.
You see them how they were walking backwards like that? That's athletic too, by the way. Hey, I'm the analyst. I got to analyze what I see.
Yep. To the right side. Garcia throws out Lucas. Now Rosell Herrera, who rifled a single to center field his last time up, Duda tried to score on the play, but Harrison Bader with a terrific throw got Duda out by a lot. This is Herrera's 38th start. He has 39 hits with Kansas City. Good first start for Tyson Ross. He was a National League All-Star in 2014 for San Diego, winning 13 games with a 2.8 ERA. Apparently we made a change from Edward to Patrick in our Sonic Slam. And there is strike three called, but Patrick will be able to get perhaps 3 tickets. 2/3 innings and will be facing Jerko, Garcia, and Bader here in the 7th.
Yeah, big opportunity. Hold them down here. They'd like to get a win before they leave. Redbirds leave the town. That's for sure. Got mentioned slider change, but he's also curve and fastball, so he's going to use all 4 of them.
Jerko 0 for 2. Been much better on the road than at home, hitting almost 290 this year on the road and just barely over 200 at Busch. Ball 1. Jason last pitched on Monday when he did not allow a run of his own over an inning and 2/3, but had an inherited runner score on an RBI double by Javier Baez in the 8th. Completely different preparation, starter to reliever. And Jason had not made a relief appearance since September 18th, 2014 with Oakland. That ball hit high in the air down that left field side, but it'll find the seats. 2-1. Smiles down there. Way to go, Dad. That ball knocked to left field for a hit. So Jerko on for the first time. Let's go to Joel.
All right, Fizz, we'll take a look at our minor league spotlight and check in on what was a rough year, but getting much better now in the last 5 starts for 23-year-old left-handed pitching prospect, former first-round draft pick of the Royals in 2014, Foster Griffin, looking really good and a very bright prospect for the Royals. Speaking of the minor leagues, had the chance to talk with head trainer Nick Kenny today about Brian Goodwin. He has been out there doing everything, including hitting with the team, and they are anticipating that he will go on a minor league rehab assignment sometime in the latter part of this upcoming week. So good news there in the progress of the outfielder.
Thank you very much, Joel. And here's Brian Goodwin earlier today. He had that hamstring injury, and that's really a shame because I remember his debut was in Yankee Stadium and he performed so well, finally getting an opportunity after being closed off with that deep Washington Nationals outfield. Runner goes, pitch swung on, and ground ball to Escobar. Backhands, throws, safe.
Boy, that looked like a virtual tie. Garcia bats from the left side of the plate, so he's a little bit closer over to first base, and he really made it close. Hit and run, why not? Escobar came over, ball was hit softly. Ooh, man, looked like they're on that super slow motion there. He might have beat it, but
yeah.
Legged it out. That's an infield hit.
Our Kubota power stats. Harrison Bader has had a very good series, 4 for 9, and a home run in each of the first 2 games.
And threw out a runner at home for his 6th outfield assist. Now he would have had 6 and 7 had Salvi been called out, but he was safe.
And he's showing bunt. He has 1 sacrifice hit this year.
Mike Schilt, their interim manager, is by the book. He's a George Kissel. George Kissel was a famous infield instructor there, a lot like Rusty Kuntz has been with the Royals. This is George Kissel long ago, and he's a routine, play-by-the-book type of manager.
You throw behind, throw tailed a little bit. Escobar had to come off the bag.
But you know, also is a good time to take that bunt off is now, because both corner infielders think he's bunting. They're gonna come out of position and then let him swing the bat, find a hole easier sometimes. And he could break the game wide open with his power. A little bit surprised he's bunting. He's got good pop. He's hit 2 homers already in the series. And this is as close as you can get to a National League situation here. You got Bader in the 8th hole and Wisdom in the 9th. Wisdom is a rookie, and in a National League game, the pitcher would be hitting there. You would never have the 8th place hitter bunt, because you can't count the pitcher to knock in the runs. So this would be a situation in a National League field that Bader would be swinging. Yeah.
Now he is going to swing.
Yeah.
And Hamill missed badly with his 3rd pitch to Bader, and it's a 3-0 count.
Yep, and a guy this hot, I am giving him the green light. All the way. It's got to be his pitch, though.
In there, 3-1.
See, and by looking at that one, and he was looking all the way, he's able to get down low, bend his knees. He saw exactly where that 93 was. He's saying, throw me that one again. I want to do something with it.
Dozier still in at 3rd. Swinging away, and he takes ball 4. Bases are loaded with nobody out. So Patrick Wisdom, in his first major league game, got his first major league hit and scored the Cardinals' only run. Now with a golden opportunity, bases loaded.
Give him a run to put him in the lane, take 2. Or pop him up, get him easy out there. But look, Hamill, he's having a hard time, obviously. See, if you're not getting ahead of hitters, you're getting in a dangerous situation. I don't care if he's a number 9 hitter or not.
Well, the Royals infield at triple play depth.
Yeah, they are. Maybe that'll happen.
You never know.
Yeah.
You were the middleman in an important one back in Minnesota years ago.
Yeah, but see, Dozier here, he's a few steps away from 3rd. Now he's moving off a little more, a little one hopper back to the bag and then go around the horn. That's how it can happen. Never called one of those before.
That's a base hit. Tying run comes in.
Man,
Wisdom, what a debut.
Yep. That's a clean hit there. They'll take that. Ned's got to come get him. That's Hamill's just not working today. It's not on. Right down the middle.
So they want Tim Hill to face the lefty Matt Carpenter. Chevy call to the bullpen here in the 7th inning. run and then a single to tie the game here in inning number 7.
Yeah, he made up for it. He let one in and got one back with that RBI. First of his career.
Tim Hill comes on for the 50th time. Royals corners will be in for Matt Carpenter, who is one of St. Louis's very best offensive players with 65 driven in.
Carpenter, yeah, Carpenter's done a good job against left-handers, so you can see where they're playing him and the runners that are on. 245, 8 homers against lefties.
Hooked that one down the line, foul, strike 1.
Find a way to get it out. Tim Hill, sinker, slider, changeup. Keep it away from him. Yeah,
he did.
Lefties are only hitting 216 off of Tim Hill. 1 homer.
Duda's coming home. They've got 1. Herrera was late to get to second base.
Nah, he's in double play depth. You can't get over there.
Exactly.
Take 1 out. That's all they needed. You get 1, now you get
late.
Yeah, now you get a pair. Check it out. You see where Rosie is. Rosie's here. He's in double play depth. He's got to be there, but this just happened too quick. Hill did his job.
So they want the right-hander to face Yadi Molina and Jose Martinez and Marcell Ozuna. So it'll be McCarthy who gets a lot of ground ball outs.
There you go.
And now Tim Hill did his job, getting 1 out on a force at home plate. And now McCarthy, who has that good sinker slider and does induce a lot of ground balls. Boy, the Royals would love to see one of those directly at an infielder here.
That's right. He's done a good job, very reliable. Hard slider, sinker, curve change.
Kevin entered after Danny Duffy was ejected with 1 out in the 6th inning last night and retired the 2 batters he faced, getting Colton Wong on a comebacker and striking out Adolis Garcia. But these are different hitters. And Molina goes after the first pitch and lifts it foul out of play right side on a 91-mile-an-hour fastball from Kevin McCarthy. Molina has hit into 10 double plays this year.
3 for 13 with him loaded. And he's hacking. He's got line to line so far.
Just strike 2.
You got to be aggressive in this situation. That's what you want to do. Pitcher wants to get in there, keep the ball down, and roll up a double play.
You're gonna.
Molina's grounded into 10. How about making it 11?
You're going to go sinker or slider?
Sinker down and away, or slider, either one of those. Keep it out of the middle. Nothing too good. 0-2. You can get a chance to waste one and hope that Butera can block it.
Molina with 5 career grand slams, so Kevin, keep it down and away, like Hud talked about.
Especially 0-2. You got some few pitches to work with here. See if you can get him to reach out of the zone.
Over the head of Herrera into center field. In comes 1. In comes 2. 4-2 St. Louis.
Yachty, he knew that McCarthy is a sinker baller, so he used his bottom hand. That's what you do to stay out of a double play. By thinking to the opposite field keeps you from rolling, trying to pull the ball. And watch Molina's hands on a slider. It's too good. He went with the pitch. He's going to use the opposite field so he doesn't roll his hands over. Way too good a pitch for that count.
Strike 1. Martinez 6 hits in the series. Putting a long home run in last night's 8-3 victory. And 2. Man, he takes a swing.
Doesn't get cheated. And you know what, too, this guy, this young man Martinez, very, very fresh attitude, happy. You know, he's an energy giver, no doubt about it. This young kid has a nice future, the way he can hit. He's got a little flair to him. Look at the movement he gets in his before the pitch comes. Set a PCL record when he was with the Royals in
2015 hit 384.
Wow. And that's right-handed. Seeing a lot of right-handed pitching. Tells me he's using the opposite field too. Sprays it all around, and not just spray, he's got pop.
Dozier, second 1, first base 2. classic car you'd like to show off at Kauffman Stadium? Well, join us for the 9th annual Classic Car Show on Sunday, August 26th. Registration includes 2 game tickets, a commemorative T-shirt, and dash black, along with entry into the competition. Winners will have the opportunity to drive their car inside the stadium prior to the game. For more information and to register online, just go to royals.com/carshow. Adolis Garcia will come into the game to play right field. And St. Louis will bring on Mike Myers, hard-throwing right-hander out of their bullpen.
Yeah, he'll go 92 to 97. He'll sink it. Slider change. So look for something out over the middle of the plate. Stay in the middle of the field and hit a gapper. Get something going here. Get back in. Catch these Cardinals before they leave town.
Jorge Bonifacio will lead things off for Kansas City. Cardinals came into this contest just 2 games, 3.5 games back of Milwaukee, and Milwaukee right now is tied at 7 with the Atlanta Braves in their game late in that contest. Cubs and Washington will be later tonight. Wisdom chased it, ran out of room. So 0-2 to Jorge Bonifacio, who is 0 for 2. Myers out of Grove City, Ohio. He was the Cardinals' 3rd round pick, 2013, out of Ole Miss. Breaking ball did not go. 1-2. Man, oh man, they've got some arms coming out of that bullpen. 98 miles an hour on that last fastball.
You know, Fizz, they really have developed some starting pitchers and some bullpen arms in that Cardinal organization. Amazes me how they keep finding them.
A swing and a miss, and down goes Bonifacio.
It takes all of us to keep drivers and passengers safe on Missouri's roads.
Respect the load, share the road.
1 out in the 7th inning. Cardinals by a pair. Hunter Dozier, the batter. He is grounded out and struck out. Royals do the same with their bullpen, building it up 13, 14, 15. A lot of hard throwers like Holland and later Wade Davis and Kelvin Herrera and Luke Hochevar. And they're trying to do the same now. Guys like Josh Staumont, who's pitching very well down in Omaha. Richard Lovelady from the left side. But you just wonder, Hud, with the ball club 46 games under 500, do you want to start their clock this soon?
You know what? That's a business decision for the front office. I stay out of that because I don't know anything about that. Yeah, look, all I know is they got some good arms coming, and that's all you can count on, and let it develop. You got to let it happen. And they got some good coaches that can help develop them, and then get them up here and let them get their feet wet. Just like our 3 starters, those young guys, 4 starters. They're all young. They're all cutting their teeth. Cal Eldred's doing a fantastic job in his first year as a pitching coach, working these kids in. Studying video with them. Instilling confidence. Just like fathering, you know, Cal's a successful father. You're treating these young players a lot like you would treat your kids. Very similar. To have success as a coach, you got to be able to instill confidence in them, build them up.
High fly ball center field. Bader shading using his glove shield the sun, and the catch is made. 2 out.
Join Fox Sports Kansas City in the Kansas City Marathon on Saturday, October 20th. Distance options include a 5K, 10K, half mile, and full marathon. And all runners receive a cool shirt and finisher's medal, along with a free food and free beer after the race. Start your training and get registered at kcmarathon.org.
Now Myers to face Escobar, who goes after the first pitch, knocks it to DeYoung, who throws him out. 3 up, 3 down. To the 8th we go. 4-2 Cardinals.
Jeff Montgomery, unfortunate, tough afternoon for the bullpen so far, perhaps ruining what was a very impressive showing by Jacob Junis.
Yeah, unfortunate. Jacob Junis did his job. Unfortunately, I think the Royals might look back on that scoring opportunity in the first inning. They only got one, a chance to get more. Let's hope they can come back late.
Now the offense is now going to need to see if they can get this team back in the game. Whatever happens, we'll be here to talk about it coming up on Boulevard Royals Live. Fizz?
Thank you very much, Joe. The Cardinals with a 4-2 lead, scoring 3 runs in the 7th inning. Overtake the Royals' 2-1 advantage after Junis had pitched so well, giving up just 1 run in his 6 innings of work. No walks, 8 strikeouts. So Ozuna is the batter to lead off the 8th. Just off the plate, 1-2. And of course, today we've been celebrating the 111th World Series. That was the championship won by our Royals, 4-1 over the New York Mets in 15. To the right side, and it rolls through. Marcell Ozuna hitting them where they aim. Time for our Dodge drive of the game. It was Yadier Molina's big hit.
Yep, you know what? That's just a great piece of hit. Did you watch his back foot? His back, he was trying to do that the whole way. His back foot went way behind his front foot, and he was trying to get his lower half leverage where he could shoot that ball to right field. A real professional hitter and catcher. Big hit. Playing 3 days. That's right, 3 straight games. He's 36 years old, playing a day game after a night game. Never happens to a 26-year-old catcher, let alone a guy like Yadi. Tells me his passion, his drive, his work ethic, the way he trains his body. He's a real pro and a future Hall of Famer. Not wanting to come out of that lineup one bit. He wants to help his Cardinals get to the promised land again.
Line to Escobar.
Yep. Those are the ones you got to really focus on if you're Escobar or behind that ball. Ooh, man. MLB At Bat is your #1 Royals app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Royals home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today.
Jerko goes after the first pitch slider. Strike one. Strike two.
That last line shot that Paul DeJong hit at Escobar, 107. And Esky had to get down to his knees and just stay with it.
Jerko started the trouble for the Royals in that 7th inning with that leadoff single. Jordan Hicks beginning to warm up in the St. Louis bullpen. If he's out there for the bottom of the 8th inning, it will be hitters 9, 1, and 2, Butera, Merrifield, and Gordon. Only chance for one. Moving into scoring position is Marcell Ozuna. Greg Garcia, shallow center. Witt can't get there, and one more scores for the Cardinals.
Whitley going all out for it. With 2 outs, nothing wrong with trying to make a catch like that. Would have saved a run had he done it, but there was no way. This ball was kind of doinked to hit off the end of Garcia's bat. Hitters love those. Pitchers and defenders don't.
Now Bader. Shows bunt, takes a strike. So the Cardinals by 3, 5-2. Bader is hit by a pitch. That's the 3rd Cardinal that has been hit by a pitch today. Junis hit 2. One of the few mistakes that Jacob made today as he pitched brilliantly for 6 innings. Gave up just 1 run, no walks and 8 strikeouts. Left with the lead, but the Royals bullpen has struggled.
Cardinal fans giving this kid applause, man. He's getting all kinds of love today. And, you know, after 7 years in the minors, heck, he deserves it. 2 for 3. First big league hit was a squibber. Didn't go 90 feet hardly. Next one, he hit a nice line drive with a stake attached to it. First RBI in his career. He's got a good pop. He's a very good third baseman. They say he's above average at third. So they'll give him a little chance over there. Spelled Jerko some, but you know what? He can play some first base and taking advantage of his opportunity. Spray hitter's got a little bit of power.
Two for three in his big league debut. A foul ball. Advantage McCarthy. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Time for our Pepsi fan of the game. How about that? 2 of them. Howdy to you too.
They got their package. They got the kids package there. He's got the shirt, flat bill cap, impression sleeves.
I was just going to say the same thing.
Yeah. It's not good if you're in my mind, Fizz.
Scary.
2 outs, 2-2 count. Want to get the job done. Here's Blaine Boyer, just recalled.
Escobar, nice backhand across his body. That is a very nice play by the veteran.
Made it look easy. Royals can defend. Believe that. He's maxed out at 105. See how he does in back-to-back nights. Or night game, day game.
We asked that trivia question early in the ball game. Luke Hochevar is one of 3 first overall picks to win a World Series game. Name one of the other 2.
Those are 1-1.
Yeah.
You've come up with a couple names. I've come up with zilch.
Well, I knew Verlander won a game, but I thought he was the 2nd overall pick.
Well, whatever your gut feels, we only need 1 name today.
Well, let's go with Verlander.
Go ahead.
Strike 1. I thought he was 2nd overall.
Try.
What about Tim Belcher?
Huh?
I'm just throwing it out there for conversation right now. Fouled off.
Go ahead, throw your other name out there then, if you like it. You brought it up. 2 strikes to work with.
Okay.
Nobody's going to laugh
Tim
at
Belcher.
Tim Belcher. What?
Oh, we got it. Oh, my goodness.
Yes. Ding, 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 ding. Way to go, bud. Where'd you get his name? How'd that come up with that? I would have never got that.
Mike Moore. You know, I was going to guess Mike because
you
he
were
had 2.
not.
Yes, I was, because remember the Earthquake series?
Yeah.
In 1989. Wow. There was 10 days that separated games 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So Dave Stewart won 2 games and Mike Moore won 2 games. But I didn't know Mike Moore was the first overall pick. Butera is the first out. Whit Merrifield lined to the first baseman his last time up. Hicks can bring it at 100. He was an A ball last year. We told the story last night how Yadier Molina, even though management wanted to have him start at AA or AAA, Molina said we can use this kid, as Merrifield singles off of Hicks into center field. That snapped an 0 for 16 for Whit.
Yep, happens to the best of them. He's got a lot of work to do. Get that average back up to 300.
And a reminder that the Toronto Blue Jays will come to town beginning tomorrow. It'll be Brad Keller for Kansas City and Sean Reed Foley for Toronto. First of a 4-game series. Got a T-shirt Tuesday coming up. Student night on Wednesday. Thursday is our Gordo game. There is a strike. Reed Foley, Baruki, Estrada, and Gavilio throwing for Toronto. Keller, Philmeyer, Smith, and Duffy scheduled to go for the Royals, but Duffy is still a question mark because of that shoulder impingement.
Ed said he'd have an answer on Tuesday.
Yep.
You know, most pitchers are all dealing with some kind of inflammation right now this long season. Players, position players, having some issues with hips, knees, ankles, shoulders, wrists, fingers, you name it.
I would imagine, you know, that shoulder, that elbow is probably like a car tire on the road. Just the more you throw, the more it wears down.
Without a doubt.
Alex Gordon with a high fly ball to center field. Bader angling his body away from the sun, makes the catch. 2 out. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Club. Salvi up. And it really has been a fun weekend, despite the Royals not able to claim a victory yet over the Cardinals. But the celebration yesterday of the '85 championship team, today of the '15 championship team. It was great seeing Kris Medlen and Luke Hochevar and Chris Young.
Yeah, and they got a replica trophy yesterday, the fans did, and today they got a jersey.
You know, I'll always remember that Game 1 victory here at Kauffman Stadium. First time we had a World Series game since that 14 season, when we had left Alex Gordon at third base for that final out, and there was a bitter memory. But Gordon went deep to tie the game in the 9th inning off Familia. And then what a job that Chris Young did for 3 or 4 innings and got the victory as the Royals would win 5-4 in 14 innings. This place was rocking. Eric Hosmer had that sacrifice fly. Score the game-winning run. Oh-2 pitch up high. 1 ball 2 strikes. And then of course, Hud, remember game 2, the Royals had acquired Johnny Cueto. He pitched the clinching game, pitching beautifully against the Houston Astros, and then had that complete game performance, a victory over Jacob deGrom. The Royals won 7-1 in game 2 of the Fall Classic.
Of course.
Foul tipped into the glove. Hicks with the strikeout. We head to the 9th. 5-2 Cardinals. Going further, so you can. Come to you from Kansas City, the city of fountains. Kauffman Stadium. Cardinals trying to sweep the Royals. They have a 5-2 lead. Kansas City looking to avoid their 14th sweep by an opponent this year, and Willie Peralta will come out of the KC pen.
Willie's doing a nice job this year. He'd like to get more saves, but he's been doing what they ask him to do. Fastball, slider. It's more of a kind of a slurvy breaking ball. Changeup. Very effective. 2.70 ERA. It's hard to sit on any particular pitch by Peralta, especially the first pitch. We've seen him throw first pitch breakers a lot, and then first pitch mid-90 fastballs.
Carpenter tried to check his swing, but went past, and it's an 0-1 count.
There you go. He chose to throw a breaker first pitch, and Carpenter was guessing heater all the way, trying to ambush him.
Gets hit by a pitch. That's the 4th Cardinal that has been hit by a Kansas City pitcher today. Junis hit 2. McCarthy hit 1. And now Willie Peralta hits Matt Carpenter.
Ooh, that's a rib ball. Well, with Jordan Hicks pitching, hopefully they take him out, because that 105 fastball would hurt if he wanted to get a little payback. So maybe they'll take him out.
So you're saying his 98-mile-an-hour changeup would not hurt as significantly.
Right, but you know what, though? The game has changed so much, Fizz. It used to be that, you know, if you clip that many guys, you know, on one team, that somebody would take it upon themselves to pay him back. It's part of the game. It's going to move past that, though. Now they don't do that anymore.
Molina had the big hit in the 7th inning, breaking the 2-2 tie by knocking in Bader and Wisdom. Atlanta has taken lead over Milwaukee 9-2 or 8-7, I beg your pardon, in the 9th inning. Cardinals chasing Milwaukee in that National League Central 3.5 games back and 5.5 games back of the Chicago Cubs, who will play later tonight. Hit well. Herrera's got it. Carpenter tagging and moving forward.
Enjoy a double play of savings with the new Summer Fun Pack from the Royals and Worlds of Fun. Pick any Royals game and also get a Worlds of Fun ticket, all at a discount. To learn more, visit royals.com/summerfun.
Adolis Garcia batting for the first time. He came on defensively for Jose Martinez. Ball one. Bud Norris, who is their closer, starting to warm in the St. Louis bullpen. He was up when the Cardinals led by 3 last night, and then 2-run home run by Martinez forced him to sit down, no save opportunity, and the save went to Hicks.
It's good practice there. Well, Yachty's deep fly to the warning track to Bonifacio in right field. Matt Carpenter tagged at first base, got into scoring position, and made that a productive out. Cardinals playing the game. Can tell they're on a mission and they're on a roll.
They have played very good baseball of late, winning 12 of their last 17. And offensively, Mike Schild, who's the new manager's team, has been much better on the road, averaging almost 5 runs per game away from Busch Stadium. 3-1.
Cardinals, a few guys have seen their first. This young man got his first big league hit. I believe it was game 1. Off the end of the bat, fell in center field, right over Whitley's head. And then Patrick Wisdom today.
Swung on and missed, and Garcia goes down on strikes.
High slider.
Strike one. This is the longest homestand of the year for Kansas City, starting with the Cubs, then the Cardinals. Blue Jays for 4 next. You always get great deals and tickets on Monday games. So check out tomorrow night's 7:15. And we've told you, Tuesday is always a T-shirt Tuesday. Get a free T-shirt. It's the Royals against the Blue Jays. Boston beat Baltimore today. That gives them 85 wins. 43 games to go.
They just don't lose.
You know what's amazing is that the New York Yankees are on pace for 102 wins, but they trail Boston by 9 games.
Wow.
Hit well to center field. Merrifield still going back. It's over his head, up against the wall. A run will score to make it 6-2 St. Louis. Boy, they have done some damage the last 3 innings, as all but one of their runs is scored in the last 3. Junis did his job, giving up 1 run in his 6 innings of work. The Royals' pen has allowed 5 in 3. You know, Hud, I was looking, we were talking about the Yankees are on pace for 102 wins, and they're currently 9 games back of Boston. Reminded me of that Oakland A's team in 2001 that won 102 games, and they finished 14 games back of the Seattle Mariners. They 102 wins, and you're 14 games back.
Boy, you picked the wrong year to have a good season. You're in that division. Ooh.
Fouled off.
Well, nowadays they have a wild card. You can get in.
Yeah, so the A's were able to get into the wild card, but how about the 93? The Dodgers in 1962. Back then, you had to win the National League pennant. The Dodgers finished second to the Giants. Dodgers won 102. They actually equaled. They had a 3-game playoff. The Dodgers won 1 and the Giants won 2, and the Dodgers had a 2-run lead, I believe, in the 9th inning, and San Francisco scored 4 runs to win it.
Heartbreaker.
Man, oh man, it comes down to 1 inning. Three balls, 2 strikes. DeYoung has him homered for the second time in this series, and St. Louis busting it out on Kansas City.
Yeah, so Bud Norris can sit down again.
Yep.
Hanging slider. DeYoung, tremendous power. Good, easy swing.
So 8-2, St. Louis. They've outscored Kansas City 23-5 in this series. Cal Eldred will jog out to try and find out what Willie has done wrong. He really has done a good job out of that bullpen, but hit the first batter square in the ribs, then was able to record the next 2 outs on a fly ball and a strikeout, but a double, a home run, and now a single. Peralta throwing 26 pitches. I'm sure they want him available for tomorrow night should the Royals have the lead in the 9th inning against Toronto. Garcia 2 for 4. Cardinals have been averaging 7.5 runs their last 4 games. They're in search of their 5th straight win, 9th in their last 11.
Peralta he's laboring, not able to get his mechanics in sync.
A strikeout will end it, but 3 more for St. Louis. They've scored 7 in the last 3 innings. 3 more in the 9th, and the Cardinals now lead by 8. And they're bringing on left-hander Tyler Webb to try for the last 3 outs of this one.
Yep, he's a rookie, another 6'5" guy. They got him tall, that's for sure. 230. Fastball, not overpowering though. He's about 89 to 92, 93. There's a little slider, cutter, changeup. That was a great T-shirts there. Well, not this year, not that season. This season for the Royals.
Part of the process.
Yep.
They experienced the glory in 14 and 15 only because of the growth, the building, the process. Right now the Royals are putting together a stronger minor league system. They had a very good draft. One of their first-round picks pitched today. Jackson Coher gave up 1 hit, 1 run, 4 innings of work of Lexington's 8-2 win today. Webb hails from the state of Virginia. He was drafted by the New York Yankees in the 10th round of 2013 out of South Carolina. Strike in there. Duty didn't like the call. So I would imagine Mr. Webb played a little college baseball with Merrifield.
Possible.
Swung on and missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. In there, strike 3 called, and Lucas, who earlier argued with Hammery, now in a conversation that's perhaps barely above a whisper, but the intention understood. Rosell Herrera. Webb with an ERA almost 5.7 in 17 games this year. But usually earlier in the games to just get left-handers out.
He's just, right over the top. I mean, he has no different, no angle whatsoever with his arm. He's just right over the top, straight down. Has a slurvy slider.
Seems like the guys who come a little bit from the side, whether it's 3/4 or sidearm lefties, really tie up lefties.
Yep, he's right on top. He's a guy that could be a long guy, can eat up a few innings. Looks like there could be a little bit of deception in his delivery.
Once again tomorrow night, 4-game series starts with the Toronto Blue Jays here at Kauffman Stadium. Keller for KC, Reed Foley for Toronto. Two outs. And a reminder that we will have Boulevard Royals live after the ball game with Joe Goldberg and Jeff Montgomery. Talk about Jacob Junis, a solid start.
Sure was.
6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, no walks, 8 strikeouts. Strike 1. Ball, 1 strike. The Royals defense remains strong. When this game ends, they will have not made an error in a franchise record 12 consecutive games.
You know, that's impressive. Before, I mean, not just for any team that has a structured lineup that's like, I mean, even for structured lineup with everyday players in everyday positions, not playing out of position. But Ned's used a lot of different guys, a lot of spots this year. That makes it even more impressive.
And then they hit Bonifacio in the back. And I wonder the intent of that one. And I think Hamry believes the same thing as he just threw out Tyler Webb. Well, the Cardinals had been hit 4 times with the count 1-2, 2 out. I believe Adam Hamry believed that he knew the intent of Tyler Webb.
It's 2 outs in the game. You're going to bring another reliever out of his bullpen and warm him up when his games are blown out already? I don't agree with the call. You know, let him play the game.
But that's the directive from Major League Baseball. The umpires have to have rules and responsibilities as well.
Oh, well, it's my opinion. I'm with Schilt. You're going to have to throw him out. This might be his first ejection in his young minor league career.
Well, Mike is saying the same thing. They hit 4 of ours and we get 1 of theirs, and my guy gets tossed.
That's exactly what he's doing.
Tom Hallion's given him as much rope as he can give him, but how much more can you go before Schilt gets tossed?
Yeah, you know, and you just can't blame him for this. Sooner or later, the opponents are going to wear one. That's just the way the game is.
I don't know what more Tom Hallion can do. He's the crew chief. He explained the situation. Well, bring the new guy on and let's finish the game.
Well, you know, he'll get as many warm-up pitches as he needs. You know, he has a guy down in the pen throwing.
Well, this is not like an injury.
Oh, well.
Let's go back to Willie Peralta hitting Matt Carpenter to open the top of the 9th inning.
Yep, right in the ribs. Yachty got hit too, right in the elbow. And you're going to wear one. That's it's a man's game. Sometimes that's how they retaliate. It's going to happen. There's nothing they can do. So Norris, he's going to get a chance to come in anyway, after all.
Well, they had gotten him up the previous inning. You don't want to get a guy up twice and not use him. So Bud was getting ready, and now they just need to bring him out of the bullpen. And I think Tom Hallion just pointed out there, come on down. I think the Cardinals are doing this just to show their displeasure. This has been a tough weekend series for the Royals. Now they'll welcome in the Toronto Blue Jays. They've got to be able to wash this weekend aside and take on a Toronto team that has not been playing that well of late. They've got 4 games, all are evening games. And of course, tomorrow there's always great ticket specials on Monday nights. And Tuesday is a T-shirt Tuesday. Wednesday is student night. Thursday is the Gordo Nation game. Come on out to the ballpark. The weather's supposed to be Very good. Bonifacio got drilled in the back, but Norris' season has been very good when you consider a guy who was not expected to be their closer when the year began. That was supposed to go to Greg Holland. Greg struggled now with the Washington Nationals, and Norris with a 2.87 ERA and 22 saves this year in 25 opportunities.
Yep. Norris is a big power fastball. Likes to cut it, sink it, move it around a little bit, and a slider. Now, what if Norris hits somebody? You gonna throw him out?
That's not up to me, Hud.
No, I'm just saying. Look, it could happen. It could happen.
I don't believe it will, but if it does,
we'll see what Hammery does.
Adam has seen some tension the last two games. Danny Duffy last night at first base, and tonight Yadi Molina got in his face, and then later Mike Schilt. Cardinals go home and they'll host Washington. That's an important 4-game series, and then they'll host Milwaukee after that, who they are chasing in the National League Central for second place. The runner will advance Bonifacio to second base as Dozier takes outside for a ball. Good swing, fouled straight back on a four-seam fastball at 94. So 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 out. Cardinals leading by 6. Final game of the I-70 series. In there, strike 3 called. That does it. And the Cardinals can complete their sweep of the Kansas City Royals. We'll be right back.